Hey, Brian Happie here. A little public service announcement about your Happie Amp. I've been asked about changing out the battery. So, all you have to do is pull this battery out. If you can't pull this battery out, okay, and you're digging at it with your fingers, you can actually cover it and kind of smack the back of the amp so that it slides out, okay? Slide that sealed lead acid battery out, grab your new one, and slide it in. Please make sure that you slide it in with the metal prongs facing the correct direction. If you look in the back of the amp, you'll see metal prongs facing one direction and blank holes on the other. The blank holes are so that you can actually take your battery, if you wish to, you can plug it in the right way, or you can turn it around and you can slide that battery in the opposite direction and close up the back. That way you can carry it and you don't have to worry about it accidentally getting bumped on in transit. It's not going to drain because it's in backwards. Then when you get to your job, you can just flip the battery around and you're good to go. Another note, you see this hole right here? That is only to recharge a rechargeable 9-volt battery. If you put a regular 9-volt battery in this slot here, it's probably going to eventually start to leak. You're going to destroy the battery at the best and possibly do damage to your amp. So please don't do that. One more thing to tell you. You have to understand how lead-acid batteries work. I tell people to replace the lead-acid battery every once a year is really optimal. Maybe once every 2 years if you're like playing with fire. Please, I know that they could potentially last 5 years. People have had them last 5 years, but don't do it. You're doing internal damage to the Happie Amp because a lead-acid battery starts, really if it's a 12-volt battery, it's probably starting here at 14 volts on that 12-volt battery, okay? And then as soon as you turn on that amp, slowly it starts to cut down. After a couple of hours, maybe a few hours, it's down to 12 volts. And then over time it gets down to maybe about 10.5 volts before, bam, your amp shuts off, okay? So you may get 2, 3, 4, 5 hours possibly out of that battery before it shuts off. But when the battery gets older, it's no longer holding this 14 volts. It may only be holding 12. So I have people who call me all the time and say, I don't know what the problem is. It's not the battery. I checked it. It's still at 12 volts. No. Believe it or not, that 12-volt battery that's at 12 volts is old. Okay, if it was just charged, it's no good. It needs to be much higher than that. So if you plug it in at 12 volts and you run it for a couple hours, you're getting very quickly down underneath the 12 volts, down to the 10.5, where it's going to shut off on you, and it's heating up the internal components. That is a very tired hamster running in that wheel. You're much better off using a fresh battery. I don't care if you buy them from me, okay? Please go search on the internet, find a good price on these batteries. I specifically have the Happie Amp made with a battery that you can find other places because there's so many other companies that make batteries. They make their own specific battery so they can charge you $80 for the battery. I don't want to do that. I want you to be able to find it on your own if you don't want to buy it from me. We have them on the website, happieamp.com, under the accessories page, but also you can go on the internet and search for SLA, that's sealed lead acid, SLA 1.2-12 or 1.3-12. 1.3 is better. It'll last a little bit longer. That's the amp hours, the amount of time that battery will last. Alright, hopefully this will help you out. Have a great day.